Hey, I'm Grant, and welcome to the State of the Channel for September 11th. So, another pretty dry week. I didn't work on as much stuff as I wanted to, but the main update I did do was I wanted to go through on the website and add all the OSRS stuff. And what that basically meant, though, was that I kind of basically went back through my YouTube posting history and I just kind of brought those, I don't know, up to speed. Because when I made those, that was before I really had a certain thumbnail style and outros and just labeling the videos. I didn't really have any kind of branding. So basically what I did is, in posting those on the website, making it its own little series that I'm calling On the Rune, which I kind of really like that title for some reason. I made all these new thumbnails. I think I updated the descriptions to be a little bit better. And basically I just wanted to bring that up onto the same level as some of my newer stuff, because that hopefully is going to be, I think, one of the other main pillars of the channel. Like, as I see the site right now and the YouTube channel and this whole thing I'm doing, I guess, what I like is on the site, you go there and there's home, you have links straight to Digression Bar, the podcast, On the Rune, and then I'm thinking I would really love to try to make Master Run come back, to actually sit down and figure out that this is the format I want. Like, this is my thing, this is my show. It's not just, oh, here's a gameplay video, this is what the channel is. Like, I do this thing called Master Run, it is XYZ, it's so long, it's, I don't know, other crazy little format things, and that's how I define it. So, I'm making moves, I guess, to go there, but I'll admit that I've definitely been distracted just doing some of my own personal stuff. Because it can be hard sometimes to sit down and be like, I'm just going to go fix the CSS on the website. Like, to actually update the looks on the site, I have to do a bunch of CSS, which is essentially HTML and is like very light programming. And it's not hard, it's just I know it's going to be a whole project to sit down and do. And it's something like, you don't really want to start at like 9 p.m. on a Thursday. It's something you want to like wake up at 8 a.m., have a full day ahead of you, and then you tackle that problem. So I've started to get to the point where now that I think I have nearly everything brought in almost from the YouTube channel onto the site, like the stuff I want to actually kind of feature. So now I have to actually start doing some of that hard stuff, which is, I think, what I'm going to be doing next after I finish up with the podcast. Because I've done all the audio for the podcast, and that's all good and clean. I just actually have to host it now, and then I have to somehow figure out how I'm going to stream the audio onto the site. Like with YouTube, it's really easy just to embed it, but I'd like to figure that out if at all possible, because once that's done, then I can go live with the actual podcast, and then we'll go back into a routine of, I think, doing it once a month. I think that's really going to be the best thing. So, fortunately, not as much work as I'd like to talk about. I'm really excited to do the On the Rune stuff. I actually have, the way I see this little On the Rune show being is it's just a grab bag of different ideas. So I think the meat of it's just going to be like very brief little discussion videos. That's what it's been like in the past, is just me talking like, hey, I play the game, when I edit, I want to rant about this thing, and those have always done really well. But I also want to branch it off, and I have an idea for at least one or two live action shorts. One's way harder than the other, so I think it'll take a while, but I like the idea of maybe doing a fake like newscast parody for OSRS, something like, I don't know if we want to do it in game or if I'd like to actually sit down and do it live, but just like this idea of, if you had to watch a news broadcast set in OSRS or about OSRS, like, what would that be? Just like simple little jokes. Like, I want to make a weather joke. I love the name I came up with for the weatherman. Just make some jokes like, oh yeah, this happened today or whatever. I think it'd be really fun, but I haven't actually sat down and like written that yet, because I have a series of books I had purchased that, to kind of like bring me up to speed. Like, one's about filming just like little shorts, like there's camera angles and all that. One's about branding. One's about, I think, just writing those little shorts. And it's just an intro point, but I don't actually read that often because I'm usually busy and I like being able to do two things at once. So it's going to be a while, I think, until I get to that, but I expect once I finish the podcast, I think the On the Rune is going to be the next project I want to tackle. So a little bit of ramble here, but as always, you can reach me over on Twitter. It's @taken4GrantD, and I'll see you guys again next week.